Croatia's foreign ministry says Serbia's decision to expel one of its diplomats is a move that threatens regional stability. Earlier this month, Belgrade declared Hrvoje Shnajder persona non grata without giving a specific reason behind the decision. A day after, Croatia retaliated by expelling the advisor of the Serbian embassy in Croatia, Petar Novakovic. The expulsion came after a period in which relations between the two countries had somewhat improved despite many unresolved disputes. Veljko Skenderija reports from Zagreb.
The already sour relations between Zagreb and Belgrade have taken a turn for the worse after Serbia expelled the first secretary of the Croatian embassy. It didn't take long for Croatia to react.
Vjerujemo da ovakvi potezi ne pridonose uspostavi povjerenja niti suradnje između dvije države i stoga reagiramo na akciju koja je došla sa strane Srbije.
Naime, sukladno članku 9 Bečke konvencije o diplomatskim odnosima, odlučili smo da savjetnik srbijanskog veleposlanstva u Zagrebu, gospodin Petar Novakovic, da se proglasi personom non grata na području Republike Hrvatske.
Zagreb has now lowered the level of relations between the two countries even further, and Belgrade, without giving a broader explanation, just announced that the Croatian diplomat stepped outside the framework of diplomatic norms.
Šta je radio hrvatski diplomat? Pretpostavljam kao i svi hrvatski diplomati svoj posao i ovo nije produktivna mjera, ne doprinosi jačanju pa ni očuvanju postojeće razine odnosa koja nije baš visoka, moglo je biti viša, ali da, u Srbiji su stalno izbori. Dobro je dok su izbori.
And that is precisely the key word. On December 17th, elections will be held in Serbia, in which, after years of marginalization, the united pro-European opposition has a chance to threaten the leading Serbian Progressive Party of President Aleksandar Vučić.
1 week after Serbia expelled the Croatian diplomat, it is still not clear what the reason behind it was. While Belgrade remains silent, local media outlets are talking about espionage, referring to always well-informed sources. But independent analysts will say that the whole saga is actually just another play being directed by Serbian President Aleksandar Vučić, whose party is facing upcoming elections.
Analyst Žarko Puhovski believes Serbia's decision to declare the Croatian diplomat persona non grata has many reasons: strengthening the country's image ahead of the election, diverting the attention of Washington and Brussels away from the tensions with Kosovo, and avoiding the introduction of sanctions against Russia, which the EU is seeking, are just some of them.
To je jedna zapravo potpuno rutinska akcija koja se dosta često događa, koja je ovdje po svemu sudeći imala zadaću pokazati kako je Srbija važna, kako su špijuni svih zemalja pohrlili u Srbiju da doznaju velike tajne o napredovanju srpske vojske, ekonomije itd.
The former Croatian ambassador to Russia explains that these actions are quite common within diplomatic circles, but they normally take place outside the public eye with subtle diplomatic notes and without leaking any information to the media.
Ako se ne poduzimaju neki kontakti sa medijima i ne radi na eskalaciji stanja, i ta relativno nepovoljna situacija može biti prevladana ako postoji interes. Meni se čini da je u ovom slučaju interes vlasti Republike Srbije da odnosi sa Hrvatskom budu prigodno pogoršani.
The former Croatian head of diplomacy sees this move by Belgrade as a flagrant act of hostility.
Ovakve stvari se ne rade. Ne vjerujem da postoji ikakva radnja koja bi izlazila iz okvira diplomatskog postupanja, a ako jest, ako je bilo čega bilo, onda se to ne radi na takav način.
But what exactly was the misdeed for which the first secretary of the Croatian embassy drew Serbia's ire? According to state media, it is espionage and recruiting people to work for Croatian intelligence.
prvi tajnik veleposlanstva Hrvatske koji je zadužen za politička pitanja razgovara sa ljudima i o situaciji u Srbiji, o njihovim projekcijama te situacije, o tome šta Srbija planira i kako se planira postaviti u budućnosti. To nije špijunaža.
Letica believes that this is also about Aleksandar Vučić reckoning with a few aspects of life in Serbia that are beyond his reach.
Ono što nije pod kontrolom, to su neki njegovi oponenti, među kojima je i bivši general Ponoš. I navodno se taj diplomata hrvatski sastao sa generalom Ponošom. I to je jedna od načina da se difamira taj njegov oponent, gdje ga se proglašava špijunom, hrvatskim špijunom.
So did a Croatian diplomat meddle in espionage? I tried to extract the answer from the former first spy of Croatia. Unsuccessfully, of course.
To ja ne znam, a i da znam ne bih rekao.
It would perhaps be naive to assume that Zagreb does not have intelligence officers in Belgrade and vice versa, and the following statement may stand as testimony.
Budući da smo mi od direktora naše sigurnosno-obavještajne agencije nekoliko dana prije protjerivanja hrvatskog diplomata doznali da će Srbija uskoro poduzeti nešto na pogoršanju odnosa sa Hrvatskom, to proglašenje personom non grata nije bilo iznenađenje za hrvatsku stranu.
Steady relations between two countries are crucial for the stability of the entire Western Balkans. And one would think that the so-called production of internal and external enemies in Serbia will subside after the elections. But Croatia itself will head to the ballot 3 times next year. And it may prove a challenge for Zagreb to steer clear of any rhetoric that will further damage relations with its eastern neighbor. Veljko Skenderija, TRT World, Zagreb, Croatia.
We've heard the story from Zagreb. Now let's cross to Belgrade. We have Stevan Gajic there. He's a political scientist and a research associate at the Institute of European Studies. Stevan, great to have you with us. Now, we still don't know what the Croat diplomat actually did.
As far as the media reports say, he was followed for more than a year. And he was noticed, and this was documented, that he was trying to bribe people from politics and generally from the public life to work for the Croatian Secret Service. And according to Ivica Dačić, the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Serbia, the Croatian side was informed about this, but they did not react. So usually in cases like that, the secret services have a kind of a gentleman's agreement that the diplomat should either be withdrawn or some kind of compensation is made between the sides. However, this did not happen, so everything became public.
Right, and you know, a lot of work has been done by Serbs in Croatia and by Croats in Serbia to rebuild the bridges between the two countries lately. And now this, quite a setback.
It is a setback, but I think that there were no sincere attempts, I would say, firstly from the Croatian side to actually move forward. For instance, when we talk about economy, there is much more of Croatian investment and in Serbia, and there's no asymmetrical approach. Also, if you look at the media sphere, you have all the Croatian programs on all of our cable TV stations, whereas vice versa is absolutely virtually impossible. Also, in cultural sphere, a lot of concerts of musicians were banned in Croatia for some very strange reasons, whereas this would be unimaginable in Serbia.
There are still many issues that are unresolved between Serbia and Croatia, and many in the region see their relationship as crucial for the region's stability. So what would you say are the main issues that they need to be dealt with as soon as possible, possibly after the elections?
Well, when it comes to the Croatian side, I think that the most important question is the question of the refugees that never came back to Krajina, so that those are the traditionally Serb-populated areas of Croatia. And this happens because there is a list, an undisclosed list of people who are alleged for war crimes, which means that every male who was above 18, most of them were in the army of Republika Srpska Krajina at the moment between 91 and 95. So since the list is not open, nobody knows who is on it and who might get arbitrarily arrested. And that happened for quite a time. I also think in the cultural sphere, Croatia should be more relaxed when it comes to exchange of musicians and concerts that are banned.
Do you think Aleksandar Vučić, during his time in power, and he's likely to remain, as the polls predict, he won't be challenged on the presidential level at least? Do you think his approach was open to fixing these relations in the past decades?
When it comes to practical moves, yes. You know, his rhetoric usually when the elections are, or when he needs to change, let's say, the subject, it's always easy to go to identity politics. But when it comes to concrete moves, we have the Minister of Minorities, Žigmanov, although Croatian minority is not the largest one in Serbia by far. And everything basically that on the cultural level they were asking, or treatment of the Roman Catholic Church, the Serbian-speaking part of it, everything was met. So I don't think that there is ill will on the Serbian part, and this is regardless of the government that is currently in power. It was like this now and in the past. The problem with Croatian political culture is, I think, that Serbophobia is an undividable part of it, and it is a part of the identity that is constantly being pushed, especially on the public level, which doesn't, I would say, exist as much in the public sphere in Croatia as it exists on the level of culture, educational system, media, and so on.
Stevan, always good to have you on the show. Thank you for that insight. Stevan Gajic there for us in Belgrade. And that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. See you next time. From me and the whole team here in Istanbul. Bye-bye for now.